Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. Now, as promised, let's take you through all of the cues and the stocks that you should have on your radar as we get into a brand new trading session, the last one for this week. So we have Sonia and Mangalam joining us now with the trade setup. Guys, a very good morning to both of you. And let's come to you, Sonia, first. We were just going through the global setup, and, you know, it is going to be a lot about that, of course, ahead of the Jackson Hole Summit. But the market's looking quite positive.
It is. The SGX Nifty is up almost about 90-odd points. The Dow had a very strong run overnight. In fact, SGX now up almost 100 points. The Dow was up about 320 points as well. All eyes will be on the Jackson Hole meeting that takes place later today. Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech as well will be keenly watched. The investors are expecting the Fed to reiterate its stance to slow inflation with rate hikes. So that's the key expectation this time around. For our own markets, yesterday was a bit of a down day, but FI has bought into the markets. They bought almost 370 odd crores, while DI has sold 330 odd crores. The Nifty has been holding on to the 20-day moving average, so some key levels are holding on the downside. Although this is a buy on dips market, yesterday was a bit different. The Nifty ended 200 points off the day's highs yesterday. It's a start of a new series today. Let's see how things shape up. But for now, looks like the market will definitely start well in the green.
All right, a start well in the green. So let's see how we go from there. But Sonia, also take us through some of the individual stocks that we should keep on our radar today.
So I'm watching out for a couple of pharma stocks. Dr. Reddy tops the list. They've received an establishment inspection report from the US FDA for the Andhra Pradesh facility. So that's positive news flow for Dr. Reddy's. Gland Pharma has received a Form 483 with one observation for a medical device. So some bit of negative news flow over there. Nykaa has done an exclusive tie-up with the hair care brand Anomaly in India. So that's a business update there. Gautam Adani will be launching the open offer for ACC and Ambuja today, so do keep an eye out on that. Nelco has signed an agreement with Intelsat Commercial Aviation to offer in-flight connectivity in India's airspace, so that could mean an order for, more business for Nelco. HOEC, there's a board meeting scheduled on the 30th to consider fundraising, and a couple of brokerage calls that I'm watching out for. Jefferies has initiated a buy on delivery with a target price of $775. They say it's a play on India's fast-growing e-commerce space and formalization of logistics, so big upside to the current market price. And UBS has downgraded Eicher Motors after the big run that we've seen. They've raised their target price, though, to $36.50. They say that the downgrade is post the rally in the stock as well as the high expectations. Back to you.
All right, Sonia, thanks a lot for that. We're going to keep all of these stocks on our radar today. Finally, let's also bring Mangalam in, who's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, how is it looking as we get into the September series?
Well, it's the start of a new series, so what do we say? We say, hello, September. Well, September is known to be a series with big moves. If you just take a look at the last three September series itself, the last one saw a 981 or near 1,000-point move on the index. We had the September before that, we declined by about 750 points, and September 2019 as well, we did see a rally of almost 620 points on the Nifty. The Nifty is sitting on big gains. In fact, in just the last two series, the Nifty has gained almost 1,700 odd points, 600 points in the August series and 1,150 points in the July series itself. So let's see whether that momentum sustains or not. What has sustained, though, however, is the conviction, because the rollovers between August and September have been 82%, and this compares with around 76.5% on a 3-month average basis. And as a result of which, the Nifty open interest at the start of the series too is at around 1.06 crores, and this compares with the last couple of series being around just under 1 odd crore mark. So, the important part, however, is that despite the rally that we've seen over the last couple of series, the FIs have trimmed their positions, and they start the September series on a relatively weaker footing from a bullish standpoint. So 35% long exposure. This compares with 65% short exposure that they have at the start of this series itself. Remember, July, they started with 15% longs, and we saw an 1,100-point rally out there. 57% long in August. We saw a 500, 600-point rally. Let's see where the September series goes, given it is known for big moves. So what are the triggers that can cause that big moves? The first one, any commentary coming in from the Fed chair today, and, any commentary coming in from all the other global central banks, that will be big. The other things we'll be watching out for, macro developments in Europe as well as China, because that are now coming to the fore, the energy crisis, etc. The third thing we'll be watching out for, global market sentiment, how that pans out. And to that is linked crude as well as the dollar index. The US FOMC meet, which is currently underway, we will hear from Fed chair tonight as well. And FII flows will be the other thing we'll be watching out for, because they've been sporadic over the last couple of trading sessions. And as we move towards the festive season, September is usually the precursor to that. Any pre-festive season business, and the way the monsoon has spread would give an inkling into how demand will pan out in the second half of this year, which accounts for majority of the consumption.